Welcome to The Right Question. I'm Daphne Gray Grant, and today my topic is about changing horses midstream. I have a question from Isabel Bueno, a graduate student based in Mexico City. Here's what she's asked. I have a question about a writing project. At some point, it feels like I'm not fluent anymore in creativity. So at this point, I'm usually looking for some sort of guide or indicators. How do you know whether it's time to start over with the writing? Or should I just keep on and maybe use other tools to get over the block? Thanks for the question, Isabel. I've never been a graduate student myself, but I think I've had an experience somewhat similar to what you describe. Some 40 years ago, I was working to complete my Bachelor of Arts in Political Science, and I had to write an honors thesis. I had spent several months on the topic, and I was really beginning to hate it. It struck me as meaningless and dull, and I felt as though I had nothing original to say. Every day that I had to work on it, I became more desperate. At the same time, for another political science class, I was doing some really interesting research with a classmate of mine. Suddenly, I had a great idea. What if I changed my topic and wrote my thesis on this really interesting research? I didn't see how my professor could say no, but he did. He told me it was too late to change horses. Do you know that American expression? It's a metaphor, and it means you don't want to get off one horse and onto another when you're knee-deep in water, as shown in the picture here. If you had to change horses at this point, you'd not only likely get wet, you could also cause a terrible injury to yourself and the horse. I was really annoyed when the professor wouldn't let me make the switch, but even then I could kind of see he had a point. The new subject I was looking at would have required a great deal of additional research, and all of the research I'd already done on a different subject would have gone to waste. But here's an even more interesting point that you may not have thought of. Psychologists used to believe that constraints were a barrier to creativity, but now they believe that constraints actually encourage you to think more creatively. Why? Well, when people face scarcity, they give themselves permission to use resources in creative ways because they have to. The situation demands a mental license that would otherwise be untapped. Creativity is not a personality trait. Nor is it something we're born with or without. It's simply our response to certain situations. If you have a way around a problem, perhaps because of a professor who's too accommodating, then you won't be inspired to use your creativity. My website has a special section devoted to creativity, and I provide the link below. If you want to give your creativity a boost, I have a couple of suggestions for you. They may sound a little crazy, but creativity isn't improved by working harder. It's better if you take more breaks. So, go for more walks. Spend more time in the natural world. Get plenty of sleep. Work in a large room, preferably one with high ceilings. There's evidence that large rooms help with creativity. Get more exercise. Spend plenty of time with friends. I know this might sound like the opposite to what you need to be doing, but if you want to improve your creativity, you need to get your nose out of the books. Being creative means making unconventional choices, and to do that, you need to be relaxed and unworried. Make sure you give yourself enough time to achieve that state of mind. Finally, let me wrap up with a quote from the former president and CEO of Yahoo, Melissa Meyer. Constraints shape and focus problems and provide clear challenges to overcome, as well as inspiration. Creativity loves constraints. Thanks for the question, Isabel. I know how hard it is to write a thesis or a dissertation. To improve your creativity, take more breaks. Then, put your head down and finish the paper.